Mr. Happy Living here, and I'm happy to be broadcasting from WITV 7 in the beautiful Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina, USA. Hey, friends, come and join me just for a minute and imagine how amazing you'd feel living the unique and distinct life you were put on this planet to live, doing work you love, with people you love, in places you love, and all the while creating something of real value for others. That's what I call a life of significance. And I can tell you it makes for a very happy life. And so can Jose Olivas. He comes highly recommended by Chuck Harlander from episode 134, and he's my guest star today. He's here to share his unique and distinct journey to his life of significance. But before bringing him on, I'd like to share a poem we created to thank him for being our guest star today. So here goes. From classrooms to marathons, Jose's path was clear. A teacher, a runner, and a coach with great cheer. In his life journey, inspiration appeared. 30 years as a teacher, many lives has he steered. Spanish and math studies he did teach, helping students find goals within their reach. Running miles with youths, many hours to preach. Jose's life of giving, a lesson to each. Listen right here on the Something Significant show. Learn to turn your passion into purpose aglow. Join me and Jose and feel the inspiration flow. Discover your life of significance as Jose did long ago. Hey, Jose, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. That sounded so wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that.
That's our gift to you, my friend. And so why don't you get us started by telling us what you're doing these days to make your mark of significance on the world?
Yeah, so for like you had mentioned in that wonderful poem that for 30 years I've been a teacher, and the last 5 of them I've been working specifically with option students, which is an alternative way of getting them to reach their diploma.
I had a question about that. So option students, but these are kids that are having a hard time in the regular structure of school.
Yeah, they've they've
Okay.
give, they've been given at least a year to go to a comprehensive, what they call a comprehensive school. And once they see that they're struggling, they try to come up with different options for them. So the title of options for the schools, and in the Los Angeles Unified School District, they have about 5 different options for them, and that's what I've been trying to do for the last 5 years with them. Beyond that, I also like to coach. So one of the ways I try to get them to their goals is to also get them to move. And from there, believe it or not, I try to get them to finish a marathon. So
Mm.
so that's the struggle there. Kids that are struggling academically, and then maybe they don't have the structure that they need to get through the academics. So I try to throw in the structure of a running program.
That's awesome. And so you've been doing this for 5 years, and how do the kids react to your method of teaching? And do you find that they're being successful and changing their ways?
I remember like about 30 years ago, they really were telling us, don't smile the first 2, 3 weeks. I've never been the kind of person that can be like militant and
Yeah.
telling them to be quiet, to sit down. I really I was more of they would describe me touchy feely. That was the term 30 years ago. You're too touchy feely. You're
Yeah.
not going to survive. But it kind of worked for me, because what I've discovered is that if I can't be me 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
24 hours a day, but 8 hours a day at my work, then I'm not going to be successful at it. But the way they react initially, they're just going, "Who is this guy?" I'm making up stories about the running program, and then telling them a little bit about myself almost every day. And I really feel that they connect eventually. It takes them about a month,
Yeah.
but then they connect to me, and they know that I'm here for them.
They have to learn to trust you.
Yes, exactly, exactly. One of the teachers a long time ago said, they don't care what you know until they know that you care. And I
Yeah.
was kind of stuck with that.
Yeah. Now you sent me, I don't know, this is an open question, it's dangerous to do when we're live, but you sent me some information about James Corrigan. And was he one of your students?
Well, he was not, but we are so excited. We every year we go to a training program for all the marathon leaders to get to new ways of getting our kids motivated. And then at this last meeting, they said, oh, 10 years ago, uh, we had a student named James Corrigan who was running for Eagle Rock High School here in Los Angeles, small little suburb. And guess what? He's in the Olympics. So
Yeah.
he's doing the event is steeplechase, which is 3,000
Yeah.
meters for hurdles over water jumps. Very much tries to simulate what cross country is all about, and running over logs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's there. And so I don't even want to see the final yet, but he qualified.
Oh,
Uh,
great.
there's a lot of North Africans that are going to dominate today, but I'm not going to think about that. I'm gonna be with him in spirit. I
All
want
right, go James. And
yeah,
those kind of stories help with your kids too, right? You can say, look at this guy.
exactly. They need role models out there, which is, I try to be the role model, but I'm a 56-year-old guy
Yeah.
with gray hair, and they're not going to connect with me. They're going to connect with people like James.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. All right, Jose, since you're a math teacher, let's do a little mathematics so our friends all around the world can get to know you through our happy formula.
Oh
It's
yeah.
simple, but it's very powerful, and it goes like this: power plus purpose equals happy. So let's start with power. What are your personal practices for building up all the power you need to get things done, whether it's physically, mentally, financially, spiritually, emotionally? In other
Yeah.
words, Jose, what do you do on a regular basis to create the power you need to take really good care of yourself and your loved ones and still have plenty left over so you can be a giver to others?
Yeah. I do need this energy because I have two kids that are under 20 still needing me. I do need this energy. So what I do is I get up really early every morning. It doesn't fit into everybody's life, but it does for me. And I work out. I do a parallel workout for me. For I have goals of my own, but I also try to coach the students. So from 4 to 7, it's my time, and that's when I energize. Financially, I'm trying to in making sure that I'm saving money, using most of my money for maybe my own children when they need it. Like I said, they're in their 20s; they still need help in today's world. And overall, I meditate. I'm
Mm.
not as spiritual as I was when, growing up Catholic. I kind of miss a lot of the Sunday worships, but I really feel I connect with this higher power almost
Mm.
every day when I meditate during my stretching routines, and it's all my time, where I really feel like I'm energized, and I put myself together almost every day, because in the
Mm.
morning you don't feel put together, but I put myself together, and it
Yeah.
has to deal with the movement and the heartbeat and the blood flow, water, sleep, all the basics. When combined, they just grow into this wonderful, bigger than the sum of its parts, or however that saying is,
Yeah.
that the
Yeah.
sum is bigger than the parts. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it does work. I was thinking just today, actually, this idea of as you're getting older, you're 56, you say I'm 63. And so, it's not, everything's not just exactly as you might want it to be. But here's the phrase I was thinking about: it's better than it otherwise would have been. So if
Yeah.
we're not putting this energy, it wouldn't be this good.
Right. Right. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh no, I do appreciate that.
So let's talk about my favorite power generating concept. It's called a Kaizen state of mind. And it's this beautiful Japanese idea that small incremental improvements add up over time to yield great big results. And I love it because it's based on mindset, not circumstance.
Yeah.
Kaizening life is knowing there's always something I can do better tomorrow than today. And it
Yeah.
creates this optimistic, gentle, but powerful and continuous uplifting of my life day after day after day. So, Jose, how does Kaizening your life help you increase your power to continuously become more so you can continuously give more?
Yeah, I think I'm resonating with the little pieces that when they're put together, they're just, I think I just mentioned it too. Like, so when I get up in the morning, I make sure that I've got some sleep. I make sure that I'm moving. I make sure that I drink water. All those things on its own, they seem like little bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's all put together in this body of mine, in this mind, the blood flow, it really means it's bigger than than when I started that morning. And I mean, even now I can think about how is the universe put together? There's atoms, there's neutrons, there's protons. But once they're put together, the atom becomes molecules, becomes these beings. Now we eventually become these beings that we have self-conscious, and it started out from those little elements that
Yep.
some astrophysicists that I love to quote all the time. We are a part of the universe. That
Yep.
universe is us. Those atoms came from the stars that exploded, and so they're within us. So I really feel that Kaizen, really, I resonate with that part of it.
Let's talk about it in terms of your students too, real quick. If they have a year, they spent a lot of their educational career not doing what they're supposed to do, and so it got them in a big hole. And so you're working with them, and you say, okay, we got to go from here, from in this hole to here up on the hill, and we're going to do it one step, one process, one piece at a time. And on day one, it's almost completely overwhelming. But if they do the work, they're going to get up in the middle of the year and they're going to be doing the same small or similar small things, but they're already at a higher level. So
Yeah.
that's what I think Kaizen works. It just keeps building and building on goodness.
Yes.
Or the flip side is you can build and build and build on badness too, and either
Yes.
dig yourself a deeper hole or put yourself in a bigger hill.
Yes. And I think that's where you're right. They've tried at least a year at what they call a comprehensive high school. They come to us. I have to be more creative, not just with the math that I teach, but how to reach them, how to connect with them. So that's where the running program, Students Run LA, that has been run with in LA since 1989, I believe, 1993 officially. And we say, okay, we have this task, a marathon in 9 months, about
Yeah.
9 months. Let's start. Who wants to do it? Oh, no, no, no.
Yeah.
I promise you, we're gonna start with a quarter mile, then maybe a half a mile, then
Yeah.
maybe a mile. By the time I get to the 5 mile mark or 5K mark,
Yeah.
I've got them, and some of them, don't, but I still got them moving.
Yeah.
I, my addition to the Students Run LA is that it doesn't matter if you're running. I just want you to be moving the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Whether you from here, you jump into swimming, you find out that
Right.
you love baseball, that you love basketball, do that every day. And
Yeah.
so hopefully those
Hard.
movements get them there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's great, and that's Kaizen. Quarter mile. That's totally Kaizen. It's
Yes.
also maybe takes us into the next section, which is purpose. That's the second element of the happy formula. And
Mhm.
I've observed, Jose, that major life transformations, that big discovery of purpose, often, sadly, comes from devastation, addiction, abuse, disease, death, disaster. Something awful strips a life to its core, resulting in a big and often unexpected change. However, in my book, Turning Inspiration into Action, I share the transformational process that I've used to discover my purpose in life using inspiration. So, how about you, Jose? Was there a specific moment or event or crisis or inspiration that revealed to you the God given purpose you were meant to live?
Yeah. I do feel that since I was young, I really felt that I wanted to help people. And I think luckily my two kids are very much like that. But I don't think it really came out in a bigger purpose, as far as teaching, as far as coaching. I went through a divorce, and it really, at that point, it was devastating. I really withdrew.
How long ago was that? How long
Yeah,
ago?
it was 5 years ago now,
Okay.
about 5 years ago. And so even though it started a couple years before then, I was trying to repair whatever damage was what that maybe I created. Of course, this my perspective is one way. There's
Yeah.
different perspectives, but I wanted to see how I can repair it. It didn't work. And so when I realized that it was lost, that connection that I had for 25 years was lost somehow, not understanding what happened, it really sent me on a loop. It put me in a position where, I really had to kind of summons everything for within me to recover from this deep hole, depression, and you name it. I went through a lot of it. And I think it took those little pieces of what
Mhm.
I knew was good from me as a kid, remembering how much I cared about people, the love of my family, the love friends of mine, to really get back to a level where I was humming again with the universe. That I know that is because suddenly I had to sell the home that we lived in for 25 years, but I was able to buy a new place in a new town, start fresh, close by. Then I got this wonderful job here at the option
Mhm.
school from a middle school, which I loved because middle school teachers really got me to where I was where I wanted to be. And
Mhm.
and then I got to the option school and I said, I can expand on this. Not only that, I can start the running program that I'd started at the middle school here as well. And
Nice.
so that was something like a catalyst. Like you said, it could have been a catalyst of a spiraling and continuous spiral, and I could have stayed down there. But the catalyst wound me back up. And
When you were at the bottom, what was it? What were you doing? What was it that you made a decision to start climbing back out? Because
I
that's
had,
what I think a lot of people have a hard time with. You get in this idea, you get just completely overwhelmed,
yes,
and then overwhelmed. So I thought, well, how do we stay whelmed before the over hits?
yeah,
How do you do that? So was there a moment or a thing, or was it reflection, or what was the thing that changed your direction?
yeah. I remember, I really thought that during that divorce, because of what transpired, for whatever reason, I thought the kids that I'd also lost them, emotionally, that I
Mm-hmm.
didn't connect with them, that, there were things being said that maybe they were, on the other side saying, oh, you weren't a good father, you weren't a good husband. And I'm just going, oh my God, this is not me. Well, this couldn't be the description of me. And then, so what really I focused on at that point is my two kids.
Mm-hmm.
And um, at that point, I said, I can do this because they're going to need me. They don't want to see someone be down and out. They're,
Correct.
I'm genetically connected to them. They're going to go, oh my God, then I'm not going to be able to make it. So I
Yeah.
said, there's no way I'm going to give them that example. I'm going to give them this example. And I
Right on.
climbed out of it. And I think that's what really got me to focus in exactly what I needed to do in life.
Yep. And I think that's really great advice in general. When you're feeling horrible, focus on somebody else and give to them, lift them. There's always someone you can find that's going to be worse than you,
Yeah.
and so go find them instead of comparing yourself to those that you think are, because I know I've been through a divorce too, and you're walking down the road and you see a nice couple over there and you say, oh, that must be nice. Wish I could have that. And
Yeah.
it hurts.
It
Instead,
hurts.
focus on how you can help and be a role model. I think that's fantastic.
Mhm.
All right. Wow, Jose, thank you for that. Now let's take a quick commercial break so our audience can spread a little love with we can spread a little love with our audience. Mr. Happy Living here. I love good things made for good people. That's why I love Happy Living's online e-course. It's an 8-week long deep dive into you and the inspired life you want to live. The life you were put here on this earth to live. The one that you and only you can live. 8 weeks of lectures and ideas and topics and supporting materials and powerful self-improvement tools. All designed for you. All designed to help you create the tools and the power and the confidence you need to discover your purpose and to discover the life you were meant to live and to feel incredibly inspired and motivated to decide you will live your life to its fullest. It's all designed to help you create the unique and distinct philosophy of you and your inspired life. Go to happyliving.com, select our e-course, and save $100 with promo code WITV7. And for every enrollment, I'll donate another $100 to WITV7. for $300 in about 30 hours. I promise you'll never, ever be the same again. And we're back, and this is the Something Significant Show, and I'm your host, Matt Gersper. And my special guest star today is Jose Olivas. He's been a teacher for more than 30 years and a coach for more than 20. He educated himself so he could help educate others, and he runs marathons himself so he could coach others. He knows well the immense impact a life focused on giving can have on the world, one person at a time. Jose, I love that. And I think you're going to love this article I found called The Science Behind the Power of Giving. It says the act of giving itself can be a gateway for discovering your reason for being on the planet. It says that science tells us that giving our time and talents and treasure is a powerful pathway to discovering purpose and overcoming difficulties and finding fulfillment and meaning in life. So I updated our formula. Power plus purpose plus giving equals happy, equals really happy. So what do you think, Jose? Has giving your time and talents and treasures been a pathway for discovering your purpose and for getting past difficulties you've faced and for bringing real meaning into your life?
Yeah, the education wasn't my first choice. I meet a lot of people that say that no, I didn't start out as a teacher, and I didn't think I was going to be a teacher. And I might have fallen at that category the first 10 years of my career. I started as an underwriter at Prudential Insurance,
Mm.
in Los Angeles, and I honestly going to a couple of the meetings where we had to describe what their benefits were going to be if they bought group health and or group life, and it just wasn't resonating with me because we were putting a value in a way that we wanted to profit from it. The
Mhm.
bottom line, the business model of insurance companies is, they use those mortality rates for sometimes a bad purpose, and and so I kind of felt that, and I said, what can I do? And at my college, they were having a job fair, and I'm wondering what to do. And somebody pulls me aside, you look like a teacher. And I
Mm.
said, hey, I do remember that at work at Prudential, we would go to schools to read. I would volunteer to read to the kids in the elementary schools around there. It was just the way to connect to the community, and I liked it. And so, yeah, I went to one of their presentations, and sure enough, the LAUSD needed bilingual math teachers, and lo and behold, I was able to start while I was working on my credential, which it's not that it's talking about formulas. That's usually a bad formula where
Mm.
you don't know exactly what you're doing, but something kept me in those classrooms where I was connecting with these kids
Mhm.
over again. Some of them were tough. I have lots of stories where things weren't going great, but by the end of the day and the week of any particular month of those 30 years, it worked out. And
Mm.
something was helping me out. I like to think it was the spirits of I was raised by just women, basically. It's the spirits of these ants that are up in heaven just
Yeah,
connecting with me and saying, you can do this. They need your help. They're just like you, because
yeah,
I was working in a Latino community. And
yeah.
so I think that's where I really sensed that giving of myself was gonna make me the person that I am.
You were being called. You made me what you were just talking about made me think about what the insurance company versus the teaching. This concept I've been working on, which is earthly energy versus spiritual energy. And earthly energy is finite. Physical fitness, if you go out and you exert yourself, you have to replenish that energy. It's gone.
Yeah,
And it's also like earthly energy is a zero sum game. If you
yeah,
go into a business negotiation and there's $100,000 to profit, you have to split up that $100,000 in a way that made you feel bad. We were getting something by creating this opportunity. But
right.
giving and love and the spiritual energy is infinite. So you can
Mm-hmm.
go into a classroom and you can pour out your heart and soul to those kids and give, 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 and you leave fuller than you went in.
Mm-hmm.
Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
And so I
All
think you're tapping into that earthly realm made you feel bad because it was a zero sum game. Where the spiritual realm, it's a more is one plus one is a lot more than two.
Right. Yeah, the our energies. Yeah, talking about just the energies, like I mentioned earlier, like it's like a hum that we have
Mhm.
and we're in harmony with the celestial bodies out there, heaven. We're all connected in some way, and if we connect with each other at that humming, at that the vibration. It's not always going to work, but if it goes, man, we can connect together. We can accomplish big things.
Yeah. So the science tells us that giving to others actually brings real meaning to our lives. You've experienced that. And the joy we feel from that fourth element of significance when we're doing work that creates value for others, we feel good. So that confirms what the science is telling us. But there's something more to it than just the giving, Jose. You see, I believe that the real magic of life comes when you're giving from living in your purpose.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
what you just talked about giving as an insurance guy, okay, that gives you some sort of satisfaction, but giving from living in your purpose, it's like night and day.
Yes.
So the audience and I would like to know how it makes you feel to be happily living your life and giving to others through the work you were put on this planet to do, and the people around you have taken notice. So, my friend, just sit back, open your heart, and have a listen to what people are saying about the impact that you're making on their lives by finding the magic of giving from living in your purpose. One person said, Jose Olivas is a true believer in running as a way to inspire kids and to also challenge these old bodies of ours to keep pushing and going a little bit more each time we enter a race. Another said, preparing his students for adulthood, college, trade schools, and establishing good careers and leading productive lives. I believe this is one of his most significant contributions. Another said, he provides his students with skill and activities to build their self esteem and confidence, and that they can take into adulthood. Others said, he's an encouraging spirit. He has energy for teaching. His students always come first. An educator, a team leader, a hard worker, impactful, passionate, determined, fun loving, deeply feeling. I admire him so much. He's giving, he's selfless, he rises up and he shows up. He knows that pouring into yourself is the only way you can be able to pour into others. He always seemed to boost me up and make me feel that I could persevere and do anything. And finally, this person said his heart is for his students and their success, and he sacrifices his time well beyond what he's paid because he truly loves and cares about his students. So, Jose, how does all that incredible love make you feel?
Wow. No, yeah, that's awesome that you were able to connect with some of my friends because, I think I have a lot of people in my life that modeled that for me. They really did. I mean, when I was going through my divorce, there were so many people that reached out and they poured their hearts out. They were not going through what I was going through. They had loving relationships. They still do, these friends of mine that I have. Some of them were going through it. They gave me some feedback on how we can, get through this together. They would say together. When I wasn't running at all, I had a couple of friends. They said, "Hey, you know what? I need a little some ideas on stretching." And I heard that you kind of ran and you ran in college. And can you get? I go, I don't. Come on. They got me to walk, and then
Yeah.
from walking, I got to run a little bit. And then I got back into the marathons, and I got back into the coaching, really, really giving myself back to the students.
Mm,
So for them to say that about me is it's wonderful to hear because they definitely gave that to me. So I want to be that for someone that really needs it.
yeah. Yeah. That's great. And that's what this show is all about, Jose. It's finding that magic in each of our lives. It's available for all of us. That's what I believe. And it comes from this great big happy circle. Giving your time and talents and treasures is a powerful pathway for discovering your purpose. And then giving from living in your purpose brings a profound joy to your life and to the lives of those around you, too. So It seems that giving leads to purpose and giving from purpose leads to joy. So, to capture the magnificent exponential power of our happy formula, Mr. Math Teacher, tweak it just a tiny bit more. To
Hmm.
power times purpose times giving equals happy to the third power. And that's really, truly, deeply happy. Does that sound about right to you?
I love that. I mean, one math term is there's it, it's exponential, like you had mentioned, but there's this one term called an asymptote, and it's a line that gets really, really, really close to zero, but never reaches it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I think a lot of our reasons to exist might be. We
Yeah.
never quite get there. We're not going to get there until the day that, the
There.
big event happens in our
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And so that asymptote really has a destination, and it's only we can discover that destination for ourselves. And that's what I want. Those are the tools I want to give my students. I want to give friends. I want to give my two kids, and and then the love of my life that I have now, because she's just wonderful.
Awesome. 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 All right, Jose, let's wrap things up with the lightning round before we both start crying. I love, I love the power of words and the capacity for great quotes to change lives. So I'm going to read a few of my favorites and have you tell us what they mean to you. Give us the first thing that comes to your mind, Jose, because we call this a lightning round.
Okay.
Here we go. From Billy Joel, paraphrasing Socrates. The more I learn, the less I know.
Wow. Yes. Um, uh, um, just knowledge is just so expansive that any little touch of what we think we know opens the door to a million other places, like a mirror that breaks
Yeah,
in a wonderful way.
yeah, it's true. From John F. Kennedy, one person can make a difference and everyone should try.
Yes. As a teacher, I really think that, I don't know how many students I've had, but if I have impacted a 1%, 10% of them, I really feel like I've done it.
Yeah, yeah. This is from Okakura Kakuzo. And she said, the art of life lies in a constant readjustment to our surroundings.
I've adapted. I didn't know English till I was 7. I adapted. When I divorced, I adapted. When I had to move to a different school, I adapted. And so I truly believe in it.
And all these adaptations, I've experienced this in my life as well. All these adaptations take you to someplace new, but you go there with all of your skills and experience that you gained elsewhere, which most people where you go new don't have. So that gives you some sort of a competitive knowledge advantage of a new world.
And if I can add, yeah, in today's world, especially with, not to bring in politics, I'm not going to talk politics, but I do not just hang out with people that think like me. I really feel like I want to know what other people are thinking. So I really surround with, and they end up being close friends. I have
Yeah,
friends that did thought differently than me, but we hone in on the idea that we want to help the homeless or something specific like that. And
yeah,
we started out like here, and now we're like this.
yeah, yeah. Good stuff. From John Wooden, he said, "Sports don't build character; they reveal it."
Yes, once you're in the trenches, you really begin to see who you are deep inside, and it comes out, and it usually comes out positive. Every sport that I played, it comes out positive.
Yeah. This is the show anchor. It's from Goth. He says, "Whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now."
Yeah, it starts with a belief. You have to have faith in either a higher power, in yourself, within the faith of your family, the faith of friends. You know that they're going to be there for you. And if you believe that you're going to accomplish something, that's where it starts. It starts in your mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Okay. And now, folks, it's your chance to be a giver too. If you can hear my voice and you were inspired by today's show with Jose Olivas, please share a little love with our wonderful broadcast team by giving what you can to WITV7. They're a 501c3 charity on a mission to educate, empower, and encourage. They do good works with your kindness. Jose, I love your enthusiasm for education and running and living your life to its full measure. And I admire your passion for helping students do the same. First, by recognizing and then by rising to their potential as fully optimized human beings. And I'm super happy that you've shared your energetic, intelligent, and kind-hearted spirit on our show today. Will you take a few minutes and share any parting remarks you'd like to leave with our audience?
Yeah, you don't have to be a major player in an organization to give. You can start where you are. I mean, if it's just the love of your family, start there. You know, spend more time with them if you feel you haven't, or if you've been kind of given a little hint that you haven't. Wherever you are, if you're whatever career you have, you can make an impact. You can change a policy within the organization that you know is going to help the community or society or just the people around you. Just, you know, lighten up the mood in a room. And that really helps me too.
Yeah, that's good stuff. All right. And I also want to thank WITV7 for hosting and promoting our show so we can keep interviewing inspiring guest stars like Jose and reaching folks just like you ready to create your own extraordinary lives. And most especially, thank you, viewers and listeners. You'll find links to social media and all things Jose Olivas. Find him, friend him, let him know what you thought of this interview. You'll find it all in the show notes. From me to you, dear friends, I love you and I want you to be really, truly, deeply happy too. So go to happyliving.com right now and download our free mini but mighty ebook called Making Your Mark of Significance. And once you read the book, and it only takes about 30 minutes or so, then give some thought about what we can do together, you and me, to improve the happy of your world, one person at a time. Till next time, I'm Matt Gersper. You are awesome, and this is the Something Significant Show. And we're out.